ladies, y'all may not want to listen to this because I don't know how serious this is going to get, but it's going to get pretty serious, okay? This is to all the lettered agencies in this country, United States of America. We the people want our country back. And we're not asking you to give it back. We're telling you we're taking our country back.
Oh, you think you're free in this country? Okay. It's an illusion. You wait till your car doesn't start. They shut off the power on you. You can't access your money in your bank account. They are building an electronic cage around you, around your children, their future. All these corrupt politicians are all a part of it. All of them. Every single one. You better have a plan. Things are going to get a lot worse.
One of the saddest things about the United States right now is how deeply unaware most American citizens are of what is coming for us in 2027, because we've chosen not to. Everything else is so crazy, and we're all working too hard to get by. What's coming is going to hurt even more than what we're going through right now.
You know, if you're not awake yet, there actually might not be any hope for you. Because they put it out there for you. They put it right in front of your face. Every single day, all day long, they put it in your face. It's up to you to choose to actually see it. It's up to you.
I quit my job recently, I guess, to add to the voices of Americans who are furious with the way things are going right now. You know, I had a good, cushy government job, made decent money, and I guess I just feel like I can't stand by anymore and watch these people my country. I feel like we're seeing the last of a dying empire, and the people at the top are trying to squeeze every last bit they can from it and leave nothing for my kids and my grandchildren. And I guess I feel like I can't stand around and let that happen anymore. So, yeah, I'll become self-employed, and I'm going to at least spend part of my time speaking into this camera to see if I can help someone out there, you know, wake up, deprogram, maybe start to look around and, you know, see what's happening and to be able to kind of, I guess, decode a lot of the bullshit that's going on right now. This right-left paradigm that they've put everybody in, it's all bullshit. It's all WWE. It's all professional wrestling shit to keep you distracted from the power structure at the top.
I truly feel like I'm living in the Twilight Zone right now. And I'm angry, I'm upset, I'm frustrated, and I don't understand how we are literally looking at the desecration of democracy in the United States of America right now. And I feel like nobody is talking about it. Like, you go out in public and nobody's talking about it. I go to work, nobody's talking about it. They're talking about Love Island bullshit. It's just, I feel like everyone is sticking their head in the sand. Our food is being contaminated. We have no FDA regulations anymore. That's out the window. They're saying, oh, no, false positive. And yet people are just allowing it to happen and pretending like everything's going to be okay. It's not okay. When is the uprising going to start? Are we going to be the generation that just sits back and does absolutely nothing and doesn't say anything? Because I feel like that's the direction we're headed.
No, it's not just you. There's multiple people throughout my comments who've been saying that their vegetables aren't growing, their plants, tomatoes aren't growing. Some people, I think one person said theirs was up to 10 foot tall and wasn't producing any fruit. So we've had ours in the ground since middle of May sometime. I'll show you what they look like here in a second. It's pitiful. Just a quick snapshot of our tomatoes here. They're just kind of lollygagging along. They've tried to die multiple times. Yeah, no, I don't know what's going on. We haven't even gotten a single tomato this year. And for the first time, we finally got zucchini and squash growing. So you're not alone.
I was having a conversation today with a friend of mine, and we were talking about privacy. Alexa was in the room when we were talking, and I said, you know, that Alexa is probably storing every conversation you have in here and may or may not use that information against you later in the future. And we got to talking about rooms in our home and what is the safest room in the home to not be surveilled or spied upon by cameras in devices of all kinds. And I thought maybe it's the bathroom, maybe it's the bedroom. But then I thought, oh, I have a new TV. And not everyone has a TV in their bedroom. I do. I might remove it after this. But all of these new TVs have cameras in them. Are they recording? Do we really have any way of knowing? Where does that information go if they are recording, even when they're off? Who's looking at that information and why are they collecting it? Do we think this is going to be used for good or for evil? You know, all of these cameras, like flock cameras, they're being sold to us on the premise that it's for our own good. I don't think so. They're being sold to us as if you're not doing anything wrong, then you don't need to worry about this. What do you have to hide? Well, the majority of the population does not have anything to hide, but we do have something called dignity, human dignity. And there is a certain expectation that every single move you make, every conversation you have, every time you lift your child up into the air at a playground or in the swimming pool, that is not being recorded somewhere and stored in a data center that's killing the environment. It's being sold to us that it'll keep us safer. Well, in my experience, only about 10% of the population in any given environment, whether it's a classroom, a work environment, in society, 10% of the population is the problem, not the 90% who are doing their best every day to feed their families, go to work, have some dignity, not commit any crimes. Those cameras are not for the 90%. Please think about this. Please start using your voices here. I don't agree with this. And I think there's a huge disconnect with the handful of people and the government that's allowing this. And I'm not anti-government, but I am anti-intrusion of privacy. God bless you.
You know, those of us who are working on AI data farms right now and seeing the amount of money and labor and investment into this, and then you talk to some of your contractor friends and the budgets just aren't real. It's almost like the amount of money they're spending on AI farms, it's like money's not even real. If you're working on an AI farm, drop a comment below.
Remember how I said I lived out in the middle of nowhere with absolutely nothing around us? What's that? What is that? What is that for? Oh, you know, a free country. What are you monitoring? And why are our tax dollars being used to enslave the people, I wonder?
You know, there's roughly 20,000 humanoid robots currently being trained to work retail, customer service, product demonstrations, front of house, anything to do with customers for walk-ins. And currently, BMW, Mercedes, Amazon, Tesla are all using humanoid robots to build cars. BMW last year had 30,000 cars built with humanoids, at least humanoid assistants. And if you didn't know, currently in New York, they're testing out a humanoid teacher assistant, which we all know, if it works, will be replacing teachers. It's a trial program. Teachers union, not a big fan. Doesn't matter. We're all in trouble. So if you're not taking AI and AI technology very seriously with your job, I know what you're saying. What are they going to do if robots take over everything? How will we buy things? I don't know. But I can tell you, I got rid of my landscaper, the guy that cuts my grass, and replaced him with a autonomous little robot that cuts my grass every day. And it was inexpensive. It was cheaper to do that than to pay him the rest of the summer. He also didn't show up a lot, so it just made sense. we're all in trouble.
So if you're a home gardener, I have a question. Are you seeing weird shit happen with what you've planted? Because I am. And my sister is. And some friends of ours that have a garden have been telling us some interesting stories about what's happening. Because we've done a couple of raised beds. And I'm out and I do my watering. I've given them some, some nutrients and some fertilizer, and everything was going great. I had like 5 or 6 green peppers that were coming up looking absolutely beautiful. And then we had a big rainstorm that popped up out of the blue, and I'm going, well, it's because of the humidity, right? And the next day I walk out and every single one of those green peppers were yellowed, beginning to rot, and pretty much dead and useless. I had a cucumber start to grow that was this big, bulbous on one end, and it ended up being like a baseball and then had a little nub on it. Friends of ours are reporting that their gardens are failing. My sister and my family plant a garden every year. They've had to redo beans 3 times. And what they're getting also in some of the squash and zucchinis are warped. They look more like gourds. So if this is happening in small gardens, can you imagine what's happening in the larger ones? But my question is, why after a rainstorm that just blew through out of the blue, did suddenly every one of my green peppers rot and die overnight? The f is going on? And if you're not paying attention to this, friends, to what's going on with food in general right now, well, people are starting to pay attention. But if you have something, you can please put it in the comments. Because, yeah, shit's failing. Take care.
You guys see that shit out in Oregon where they want to ban hunting and fishing? What in the f is going on in this country? I mean, between that, these data centers, the ridiculous amounts of taxes that get extorted from us daily, how did we get here? What are we doing? It is beyond time for us to go to Washington, D.C. and drag these out by their head and all up. Dude, they are taking everything from us. And we just keep sitting here and letting it happen. Going to work every day, paying these ridiculous taxes. And then every time you get a bill in the mail, it's sky high. When are we going to stop it?
So in the 4 years since I bought my house, my property taxes have increased 30%. If American citizens can pay taxes based on the value of their home, why can't billionaires pay taxes based on the value of their assets?
Where's our money? Where is our money? The DOJ just announced that they have arrested 455 people accused of medical fraud in 45 different states. The medical fraud that they have uncovered equals over $6 billion. In a separate case, the FBI has uncovered over 12,000 cases of real estate fraud. That fraud is estimated at $275 million. The Social Security Department has uncovered billions of dollars of fraud for fake housing programs in different states, giving away money to people that needed housing that actually did not. And then Doge. Do you remember when Doge was a big thing with Elon Musk, who supposedly uncovered $200 million of fraud, and we were supposed to get like a kickback?